Thank you for watching Ben Television. Today is a special day. We have a lot of things, and I'm so glad you are watching. My name is Shegun Johnson. We are in a fix in London concerning Corona and Brexit, and we may just have a quick look at that. But I have in the studio men who are ready to discuss this. We have Nat Iyako, our in-house researcher. Nat, you are welcome to the program.
Good morning and thank you.
We also have all the way from Nigeria, Ibo. How you doing? Yes, how you doing, sir? Iboro Otu, how you doing?
I'm very good, sir. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning to
Yeah,
you.
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure when we have you because we know you are full of wisdom and understanding concerning issues in Nigeria. I mean, just to keep your appetite whetting, we are expecting Dr. Ruben Abati at about 10:15 a.m. London time, 11:15 a.m. Nigerian time. At the moment, vaccination has started in the United Kingdom, but we're not sure whether we should have Christmas the traditional way of family meeting together, or we should just stay at our home to be alive for 2021. That has been the controversy. Another controversy has been should we take the vaccine or not? Even the British government have said that many people should not take it, including those who have allergies, those who are pregnant, those who want to be pregnant, those who have one challenge or the other. And so it's not going to be that covering everybody, same goal. And there are also priorities. And these are these various discussions going on at different levels of discussion. Nat, you want to bring us up to date on that? What's the position on vaccination? Are these conspiracy theories, are they stopping people from taking the vaccine? We understand that, according to a report of King's College, 40% of the population have been told the conspiracy theory and have affected them. They will not be taking the vaccination, and this is affecting the British government. Nat, bring us up to date.
I think the most serious battle at the moment is between the Prime Minister and some of the ministers in the Tory government.
Mm.
Some of the ministers are insisting that Christmas should be scrapped, but the minister is saying he's not going to scrap the Christmas. The Christmas protocols will remain until further notice.
Okay, and the
And
Christmas protocol means that from the 24th to 27th, we have a window to move around three families together at least. Is that the protocol now?
yes, yes,
Okay. Is it 5 days or 5 nights?
it's 5 days.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
5 days.
Starting from when?
I think it's starting from the 23rd or thereabouts.
Okay, to 20.
5 days, that 27, 28.
Okay, the argument has always been that uh, those who are in favor of it said, look, the government cannot lock all of the people down all of the same time, and that the people will rebel at a point, and there's no way to enforce that law. That's one of the arguments. And secondly, government does not want the majority of the people to be against them, so they are not going to allow that to happen. On the other hand, they said, of what use if you see your parents and grandparents, and in 2021 they have challenges, and they are hospitalized and they may even die. So what is the point? And this has been the two divides of the same argument. How do we balance this one? Nat, is there any way we can balance the two? Can they reduce the number of the days from 5 to 3 days, or they should reduce the number of contacts, that is 2 families and not 3 families? What will you suggest?
Well, we have a serious challenge here with tradition.
Okay.
The tradition here is that this is a festive season called Christmas.
Okay.
And the normal thing would have been to have declared maybe Monday to Monday as Christmas week,
All right.
where people family reunion, and it is once in a year. So, and again, even America, people went against the COVID advice through,
And when for
through
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving. Through
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, people were told not to travel. They traveled all over the place, even though there are some challenges now with COVID positive.
But there was no law against that in the USA, because Trump just even encouraged them to go. Only Biden was discouraging them, and so we had a tale of two cities there. But let me ask from Iboro all the way from Nigeria. Iboro, the issue in Nigeria with vaccine is that the government there has not even applied to buy, because some people are saying that even if they apply, they will not be given, and so they are saying that there's discrimination in the dispensation of the COVID vaccine. What's the latest on that route there?
You are very correct, sir. And it's not just a Nigerian problem, but an African problem. It seems third world countries are being left at the back. And it's
Marginalized.
not economics, because the people that have the money and are, putting in the resources for the research should, have
Yeah.
first. But then when you hear about countries like Canada having 3 times the amount of population they have, in America having 4 times as much vaccine as their population, it calls to question what the World Health Organization and other international organizations are doing to support Africa, even countries that have money to purchase the vaccine. I guess the good thing here is that the COVID itself is not ravaging Africa as it's supposed to, or as it was expected.
As was expected, yeah.
A lot of people would say that, remember, Donald Trump was advocating for what was for a solution which we normally use in Africa against malaria. So it seems the antibodies in our system, and whether it's the climate as well, there's been loads of studies on this. And I tell you, during the NSAS protest, I hooked up to 10,000 people. Yes, there is COVID, but if there was as much COVID as projected, I would have been down with that. Maybe I did have it and it's gone, and we just don't know what's happening. But I can tell you, being on ground, that we are lucky with a lot of things. And so that goes to, in a way, take care of most of
the World Health Organization actually has been in a kind of dilemma. They couldn't figure out why Africa had not been devastated by these virus. Of course, Africans are very grateful to God, and some people have even attributed it to the praying continent. Well, I think it's between the prayer and the hydroxychloroquine that we have been fed with over the years. It's within that area, and but except that your celebrities and big men there are the ones being infected. We understand that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko, is off to Dubai because of the COVID infection. So why is it a celebrity thing in Nigeria, but here is for everybody? What explanation can we adduce for this?
Again, I'm not a medical expert, but I would probably say that, a lot of Nigerians on the streets are very resilient as a result of what we are naturally exposed to, the different viruses and the antibodies we've been developing over time, as opposed to our very rich people in position of power that have lots of medical checkups to their advantage.
That have been pampered and spoiled.
Less access to parasites and diseases and viruses that are everywhere on the street. So as a result of that, staying in AC all the time and basically being in a Western country, even when they're in Nigeria, when they're exposed to real viruses that are westernized and all whatnot. You tend to have, because that tends to be the only way you can explain how people like the former chief of staff to the president, or all these great people die of
Yes, all the big guys in Nigeria.
look at their immediate families, or maybe CEO of Dupesi, for example, who came out alive, and how it's all about internal resilience and how we've been,
Yeah.
thankfully
I
to
think
God,
that,
we've
that
been
that's a fair assessment of the situation. When
yeah.
Dr. Abati comes, maybe I'll be asking him a few of that question as well. We're expecting Ruben Abati any moment from now. So please let me know when Ruben has come into the studio. In the meantime, Nat, what were you talking about Brexit and this self-imposed deadline and self-extended deadline to December 31st? Everything seems to be muddled up now. They're still within the fishing right, and somebody somewhere said they should get naval officers to check into every European vessel that comes within the nautical miles of the British waters. And some were opposed to that, that we are not in a war against Europe. Why are you doing this? And this forward and backward between EU and Boris. What sense can we make out of all this?
Well, we some of us know that a decision has already been taken,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a no Brexit. The prime minister is taking his integrity, his ego on a no Brexit, and so
Okay.
all this extra time is really extra time. Nothing is going
You
to
mean
happen.
no Brexit deal?
Yes, no Brexit deal. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to happen, and that is why the prime minister is rushing to Nigeria and Africa.
Mm.
A trade envoy has been appointed, a trade delegation has been appointed to go and stay in Abuja and corner all the trade Britain can get from Nigeria.
That's interesting. And she's of a Nigerian descent, isn't she?
Parentage. The father is Nigerian.
Yeah. And the
Yes.
father is bearing Mr. Grant. What an apt name at a time like this. Yes, of course we have these reports that Miss Grant has gone to, or maybe that's the husband's name, I don't know. But her surname is Grant, which is very important. Nigeria needs Grant now, not Loan. So I'm happy she's not Miss Loan. I mean, I was reading it. I say, yeah, that's the name we want. But tell us about what Miss Grant is doing in Nigeria exactly for our viewers to know.
Well, few days to the end of no deal. We know that even before Thatcher left office, or even before Thatcher, the subsequent prime ministers, I think David Cameron sent a delegation to Nigeria.
Mm.
Theresa May sent delegation to Nigeria to see how they can establish trade relations with Nigeria. And Boris Johnson is just following the tradition, but he's more serious this time around because the stark reality is facing United Kingdom as to who are going to be your trade partners when you leave the EU. That is the question. And
Yeah, and Boris himself is going to India, isn't it?
yes,
All right. So
but
they are relying on Commonwealth.
India is not ready to do any serious business with UK.
Britain.
They already have their own continental uh, business network.
Yes.
And the businesses in India are from here. The human resources were here and they moved back to India.
So are we going to hang come January 2021? I mean, in terms of trade, because the way no deal trade will work is that we will rely on the Australian version of the World Trade Organization determining taxes and things like that. Will that be beneficial to the United Kingdom, or the United Kingdom should have a rethink when most of its trade with the European countries, and yet they are running towards Commonwealth countries, uh, Nigeria, Australia, and India. Will that do them any good? But I'm sure there will be good analysts within themselves to see how they can glean from Africa or glean from Commonwealth countries, plus whatever they could do with Europe. But at the end of the day, Europeans and UK citizens, they're cousins, aren't they?
They are. Japan, I think they have a trade agreement now with Japan.
Okay.
Yes.
So, is there anything apart from ego? Why is Boris Johnson not bending and negotiating and correctly getting a balance with the EU? Is it this ego of nationalism? We want to be independent completely from the EU. Is that the reason? Is that the main reason? Or there are other reasons like we we are superior to the other Europeans? What is the main issue that are not being spoken?
I think the other issue which goes with we want independent, want to do on our own, the sovereignty of the country.
Okay.
The crown. When I mean the crown, her majesty's her majesty and her
Yeah.
government have
Yeah.
government have not really. We prefer a no deal so that UK can leave quickly the European Union, so that they will know they are fully in charge of this place.
Yeah, but I don't see how it will affect. I have had that kind of argument, but I just don't see how it will affect our reign. And the crown is not challenged by the EU, except that the EU have left the crown many years ago. So that could be a little bit threatening to a fragile situation with the Republicans continuously asking that they should scrap the crown. But it's a very complicated one when you open the inner room to see the fears of those that be in power. But like you said, Boris Johnson might have made up his mind concerning no deal, and we're just having an academic discussion here. Well, let me
And,
ask.
and again, if I may add, we know there have been instances where when the UK courts fail individuals, they go to the EU and they win their cases.
In fact, over 60% cases of immigration have been won at the EU Court of Justice. And
Yes,
those people will have been deported from where they came from, if not for the EU. And some other laws as well, they have
yes,
been able to reverse them. So we have lost that one now. So we will just have to make do with what the Supreme Court here says.
yes.
Let me ask Iboro in Nigeria. What do you think Helen Grant's team will gain from Nigeria at a time that we are in recession and they will want to, what kind of discussion will they be having with Yemi Osinbajo? Because Helen Grant met with Yemi Osinbajo, the vice president of Nigeria, and he said Nigeria was ready to discuss economic prospects between the two countries. According to him, I'm really excited about the prospect of what the next few months and years hold for our two countries. I also share your optimism that this is probably the best opportunity for us to do a lot. Iboro, what a lot is the vice president talking about?
Well, the federal government is saying that they are positioning the Nigerian economy towards exports to bring in more foreign exchange. So I feel it's a very
Mm,
good thing if we can take advantage of what's happening presently between the UK and
mm.
the EU, because using the World Trade Organization standard would be best for the rest of the world and best for our exports. And also, it is great time for partnership for British products to come into Nigeria and the other way around. So it's a welcome development. However, this pans out. And sorry, can I take a minute off? I'm really sorry. I'll get back to you. I have
Okay,
to.
okay.
Yeah.
Another thing concerning which I will have taken you on is the balance of trade. Now, the British government will be looking for the balance of trade to tilt in their favor or not. The balance of trade, because they will go with their eyes wide open. And the balance of trade, I'm not sure, is in the positive for Nigeria. So the balance of trade might be actually, they will be looking for it to be positive for Britain. And that may be the challenge for Nigeria, isn't it? Not.
You remember Morocco
Mm.
wanted to join the ECOWAS,
Yeah, I remember.
and that would have opened the floodgate for EU goods
Yeah.
to flood West Africa, especially Nigeria.
I really don't know who was pushing Morocco to be a member of ECOWAS. I mean, the word ECOWAS, the abbreviation ECOWAS, is Economic Community of West African States. Moroccans do not even see themselves as Africans, talk less of being West African. And so, I mean, Moroccans see themselves more of an Arab world. Now, the and wanting to join ECOWAS was a bit very, very funny and dangerous because it will come as a superstar, and thank God that it didn't work out. But then they say Morocco is causing problem over Western Sahara. For a long time, they wanted to colonize Western Sahara, and Donald Trump has given them a greater leverage by recognizing Morocco to take over the whole of Western Sahara, which the African Union is opposed to, which Nigeria is opposed to, because Western Sahara is supposed to be an independent country. But then the domestic situation in US allowed them to show that Donald Trump is pro-Israel, and if he's pro-Israel, then the evangelicals will be supporting him, and that will mean a good stand for him at a time like this. He still believes that he can be the next president come January 2021. How far have they gone, Nat? How far have they gone with that Western Morocco, Western Sahara matter?
Well, let's start with the EU. EU was or is behind Morocco trying to get crashed into West Africa.
Into ECOWAS.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's laughable. It's laughable to me. It's laughable.
into ECOWAS. And what's happening? Morocco and Israel, I think they are going ahead to normalize their relations because of
Yes,
trade.
to follow UAE and two or three other Arab countries. Yes.
Yes, and just because of trade, and part of it is also technology and security.
Okay. And what role was Donald Trump playing? What was he gaining from that? Because all along, the United States had never recognized Morocco to take over Western Sahara, and all of a sudden, few days to exiting presidency, he supported them so that they will recognize Israel's position in the Middle East.
What the strategic thing is, the Jewish lobby in United States of American politics.
Hmm.
I remember Kushner is an in-law to Trump,
Okay.
and he was more of an envoy to Israel. So,
Okay.
so
The,
when you tie all
the,
those
the,
knots together, you see
okay.
exactly what's going on.
The tie between Israel and America is an institutional tie. I don't think anybody can break it, whether you are Trump or Biden. But then to use Morocco as a bait and to use Western Sahara as as what will push Morocco. I mean, it's so interesting. Or Iboro, how do you see all of those put together?
Nigeria is very well positioned to take advantage of all. The world is now becoming a global village,
Yeah.
and whoever is able to take advantage of these networks would be able to grow their wealth 1,000 times.
Mm.
The industrial areas gone into digital. And everything that we're seeing today is just starting new, whether it's 5G, technology, services. The world is now being so fluid that service can come from anywhere to everywhere.
Yeah.
It's as a result of resetting itself that these
Hmm.
alliances and problems are resolving themselves. Whether it's Israel now talking with the Middle East,
Okay.
Dubai or the United Arab Emirates or these other countries wouldn't agree to work with Israel if it weren't in their interest, very serious interest. So
Okay.
there's no pressure happening anywhere. Everyone's just looking for their interest because of the fluidity of the economics of the world. What we can do in taking advantage of, whether it's the exit from the Brexit or what's happening internationally, is positioning ourselves to be able
Yeah.
to contribute when we get to that table. And the best way to contribute is by putting a lot of investment in the education of our people, because now resources, financial resources are no more tracking natural resources, but where competence is. So that's why we're having countries like Hong Kong today having a lot of, or
Okay.
Japan, for example, with no natural resource, getting to where they are, and
Okay.
we are here floundering. So what we can do as a country at the moment is that we have a room for 2 more elections to have credible leaders that will be able to take advantage of these opportunities. America is trying
Mm.
to resolve global problems, but to its interest, because the resolution will lead to them exporting more of their goods and services. It's the same thing with
Oh,
Brexit. The reason why Ms. Grant
wow.
is here, she's not here because she loves Nigeria, but because she understands the position of Nigeria in Africa, and why
Yeah. Yeah.
America is trying to get Morocco to tap into West Africa is because our position is very unique. Unfortunately, the leaders we have at the moment don't understand how powerful Nigeria is beyond economics, even socially, and the fabric of Africa itself. Like you said, 1 in 4 Black people is Nigerian.
Okay.
So I see a lot of
W-
opportunity. I'm really happening that the world is going in this direction, but we have to be ready to tap into these opportunities.
Okay. We will have to pause there, go for a short break. And when we return, we'll be looking at insecurity in Nigeria, the killing of over 300 boys from Kankara in Katsina while the president was looking on. Don't go away. We hope Dr. Ruben Abati will join us. Otherwise, we will move on. We'll be right back.
Ben TV, your ethnic and Africa-led television, welcomes your input, contribution, and support to facilitate our continuous program production, campaign for projects, and other media-related services. We have been here for closer to 2 decades.
Welcome back. You are still watching Zen Television. The program is You Decide. What we do here is we give you information, facts, and analysis. But at the end of the day, you decide. At least you will have an informed opinion and you will take the action necessary. I'm not sure the studio has informed me if Ruben Abati is here. We're still hoping for him. But in the meantime, let me say that again, it has happened. It used to be bring back our girls. Now is we have bring back our boys. Different numbers have been flying. Some said 500 boys were stolen by Boko Haram in a place called Ankara in Katsina State. Others have said that There are 333 boys because 200 boys bolted from their rank, and we've had all sorts of news. But let's try and get a streamlined understanding of what happened in Kankara. Our in-house researcher, Nat Yako, will take us through.
We remember, or some of us can recollect, last week Friday. Last week Friday was 11th of October 2020.
11th of December, you mean?
Sorry, December. 11th December 2020. The President Buhari left Abuja to Daura, his Katsina state, for 1 week private visit. And on the night of his arrival, around 9 p.m., some bandits, because bandit is the word we use for terrorism in the northwest geopolitical zone. And we know those bandits have been operating in Zamfara, Katsina, and part of Sokoto state. And so the bandits went to Kankara. Kankara is the headquarters of Kankara local government of Katsina state. The bandits came on motorcycles and broke into the government's boys' science secondary school and carted away 333 boys on motorcycles.
Is that possible? How do you take 333 on motorcycle? Please help me out.
Three persons on one motorcycle, 100 motorcycles.
Are you serious? That's what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
For the Chibok girls, they brought a van, isn't it?
They brought a truck. Yeah, they brought a truck.
But these boys were taken on motorcycles.
You are taken on the motorcycle into the forest. So three persons on one motorcycle. You just need 130 so motorcycles to ferry 333.
That would have been locusts, isn't it? Anyway, go on, please.
So again, with the type of security we have on ground in Nigeria, the security did not respond to that distress call until Saturday morning. That is some clear 9 to 10 hours, giving the bandits enough time, leisure of time to do whatever they wanted. Because after taking away the 333 of them outside the dormitory, they were arguing among themselves. What do we do now? Because they were not ready for that large number. So they did the arithmetic of 3 on each motorcycle, took them to a safe distance, and they were told to disembark and trekked into the forest. So when security eventually was alerted, there was a delegation from Abuja, Minister of Defense, National Security Advisor, and one other person. We had the Minister of Defense saying this is an easy thing to bring the boys back. Maybe give us some few hours or few days, job will be done. Today is Wednesday, job is not yet done. The boys are still with the bandits. The chief top corps, Abbas Abakayari is the head of the special squad of terrorists. He's landed in Kankara yesterday, and I'm sure they should be heading to the forest. So as we speak, the Katsina State Governor went to Buhari to brief him that the bandits have got in touch with the Governor of Katsina State, and they are talking, or maybe dialogue or negotiation And we know that the governor of Katsina State is used to negotiating with terrorists and giving them money. And when the money
So
runs out, they come back.
so this is
So
what it's all about. Let's hear from Iboro. What's the feeling in Nigeria? Because this sounds like a fairy tale here.
Uh, telling you, it's not even funny. You know, I love the way Mr. Nat is explaining it, and he's trying to add
How
some
do you
humor to
feel? How
it.
do you live with that in
But
Nigeria?
it's
Seriously.
really, really sad how you 333 people on motorbikes, and now, like he rightly said, the government, they're very happy to say that there's a line of communication that they're negotiating with the terrorists. So you can tell where this probably would go. In fact, as at this morning, the state government of Kano sent out released a statement that parents should immediately pick all their kids from boarding schools in Kano. All boarding schools have been shut down, and the school
And that has
they
happened
were
in
supposed to.
Zamfara as well.
Yes, this happened this morning. Kano state government asked
Mm.
parents to pick up their wards, and you know, no one knows the intel they have. And when you look at how the body language of whether it's the security agencies or the government, I mean, Daura is just 2 hours away from Kankari. The best that could happen would be the president to go there himself and pay visits to the thousands of parents and relatives that are out there witnessing this very sad situation. But that's not happening. What we've seen, however, is that are flying from Abuja, representatives of the government are going. I don't know how smart or how wise this is, but we are. Northern Nigeria is getting to, I mean, just like the Sultan of Sokoto had said himself some weeks ago, uh, as if he was a prophesier or it's a prophecy. We are seeing our country being taken out of our hands where the government is no more. I mean, the number might be 333 today, but who knows what it is, what the true numbers are. And,
But
you know,
but
a
Iboro,
couple
I
of
want
weeks
to
ago, we
I
lost.
want to ask you a question, please. The
Yes,
question
please.
is how alarmed, how shocked are the Nigerians generally? Are people outraged? Are people running out and protesting and saying this is unheard of, or since the Chibok girls? How are people? What is their reaction? Or is just like,
People
well,
are
government
very.
go and deal with it while we sleep?
No, no, no. People are, I mean, serious people are coming out and saying real serious things, but Nigerians on the streets are very unhappy. We are not happy with these things because even in my state, I mean, I tell you, just a couple of days ago, I mean, you as we speak, our people were out there protesting for NSAS and not really trying to put an end to bad governance peacefully,
Mm.
but they got arrested and were charged for terrorism. They just got released yesterday from the courts. They were charged last week, Wednesday. The judge was so angry, she struck it out that it was unbelievable. They were peaceful. They did not block any roads. They stood on their own lane doing their thing. And but then they were charged with terrorism. The police had to arrest them again in the same court and take them to another court. Just yesterday, the guys were lucky. And the thing is, with the Akwa Ibom State terrorism law, the guys would have been sent straight to prison for years and years, if not because of the pressure. So you see, the government is, instead of facing the real problems of poverty, insecurity, I mean, there's been loads of robbery going on right now in the state, car robbery, petrol stations being robbed. I tell you, the whole of last week in Akwa Ibom State, robbers are taking streets where you have shops, you know, small mom and pop shops, and they're robbing them one after the other, taking 2 to 3 hours to rob a whole street, and they go from street to street. So it's crazy what's going on here. So people are really unhappy with the whole security thing in the country and
Mm.
how the government is going around about it. Like, for example, my state government has decided to come out last week and donate 30 cars to the police, for example. They always feel that it's like the band aid thing to problems. Yeah, donate cars to policemen, have a few photo ops and say a couple of things, and that's how it is. But that's not how it is. Business as usual is the time has gone past with regards to that. So I think that the pressure is, you know, heating up, and a lot of people are saying things, and one just anything can happen at this point. 2023, every day we wake up seems to look really far, very far away for Nigerians to wait to vote in a new change. probably these events like this. Who knows what's going to happen next week? I mean, people plying the road from Abuja to Kaduna or Abuja to Zamfara or wherever. You hear these
Mm.
stories of people getting shot and killed every day. The train stations, whether they're using the train or whatever. So, and then the economic situation. I feel Nigerians are really mad. We are very unhappy, and who knows what could happen.
Yeah,
But what we are trying to do as an organization, as a
let me commend the
people,
governor of your state. That's the governor of Cross River State. We watched when he was handing over, and he spoke for 30 minutes and without looking at any script. And that's what the comments we were getting here, that this guy is a brilliant guy. And this is his second term. And it looks like how well has he developed? That is, how well has he moved the state since he came to power?
well,
Dr.
you know,
Johnson,
for people like us, we are we a lot of people would say we are of the opposition. We wouldn't be fair. To be fair to the governor, he tried in the area of security. That is one area he really did well until now. I mean, the past couple of months has been crazy, and even though they've attributed that to cult wars, the reality on ground is that people are the lack of jobs, lack of opportunities for
Mm,
young people, and non-payment of salaries, and a host of other issues are now coming to the front. Akwa Ibom State receives the second highest allocation in the country. It's 3 billions every 20 billion or so every month. And when you look at what's on ground, I mean, there's no reason for workers to be owed salaries, for example. There are hundreds of projects that have been started by this government that has not been completed, whether it's infrastructural projects or businesses.
okay, okay.
Not a
I
lot
have
of infrastructure.
another question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
How come the president is in Daura, and when the news broke that some over 300 boys have been stolen from a school, the following day he went to inspect his cows and not gone to sympathize with the parents looking for their children in the bushes? Please, how do we marry the two?
We can't marry it at all. But like his spokesperson said, this president has his way of running his own government. He's never spoken at any point in time. Remember, whether it was NSAS or I don't. I'm not sure if the whole state is being bombed or there's some atomic bomb explosion in Nigeria. The president is going to rise up that day and say anything. You know, it's probably his style, and you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And so we just have to live with it and see how we can correct this anomaly when next we are going to the polls. I don't know if this
Yeah.
style to them as a government, to the people in power, if they feel it works. I don't know how they would feel if they lost their kids or their kids are kidnapped. And I mean, the government, the federal government of Nigeria, the president of the country, I mean, in everywhere in the world, that's the
Well,
least that a leader can
I
do.
will still, I will still
Show
discuss
faith.
that one. Uh, Oh, thank you, Boro. I will still discuss that one before we close this program today, because there are some explanations given to that. But let me read this email first. This email has come in. Please keep your emails coming in. Nigerians decide at yahoo.com. We will read it, and you will give us more insight into what is happening. We are not
Okay.
saying we have all of the solutions. In fact, the solutions stay with you. We want you to release it. And so please, we want you to do that. So let me read this email. It says, "Way forward, Nigeria, and overcoming these blood sucking demons called terrorists. Dear Shegun, thank God someone like you and Alistair are putting there for us. Also, thanks for putting in place this kind of program. Our problem solving solution in Nigeria is a long term solution that goes beyond Buhari without an Idiagbon beside him. How can we put in place an Idiagbon figure back in Nigerian governance? Nigerians in diaspora could rise up to help. It's simple. Let us begin to have fronts that will consistently put forward constructive criticisms and call to order communicate to the governance. Number two, Nigerians in diaspora who are people of worth should come together to form a party instead of doing this kind of discussion for ages. We just need a selfless person to spearhead it. We have a lot to do to help, please. Having said this, let me humbly ask Dr. Shoyode to be used of the Lord to coordinate this kind of a front, sir. God bless you all. Reverend Bimbo Ajima Tora Rije, pardon me if I didn't pronounce that one very well. He represents the Upper Room Commission UK and Underprivileged Foundation. Nat, you had the two suggestions of the Reverend. He said, number one, we should get an Idiagon, that is a vice president that will take a major role in President Buhari's government. Is that Does that mean that Oshibajo is not doing enough? Is that the implication? Because when Idiagon was supporting the military head of state, Buhari, they appear to be getting somewhere. But now it appears that the position of the vice presidency has been marginalized. And secondly, he said if we could set up a political party from here, it's just looking for a leader. And Nat, what will you say?
Well, the first one of another Ediagma appearing on the scene, may the soul of General Ediagma continue to rest in peace.
Amen.
We are not likely to get any Ediagma in the nearest future. There is a constitutional provision for vice president, but since 1999, we have had only two active vice presidents, I can say. Please correct me. We had Atiku with Obasanjo, but the way they started well, but ended, it was a different story. We had the former governor of Kaduna State being vice president to Jonathan. I think they did a very good job. But thereafter, it's only a constitutional provision. The vice president in the Nigerian democracy, the dispensation, really they are spare tires. And if the real tire doesn't get flat, you don't have any hope of using the spear. And even when the spear is used, and the real tires get patched up, they come back and dismantle everything. So Mr. Vice President Professor Osinbajo has really not acted. He deliberately or left on him as his personality and characteristic. He has not discharged his duties as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So unless there is maybe a constitutional amendment where you will empower and embolden the Vice President, things are not really going to change, because we have a presidential system, an executive president, one of the most powerful in the world, who will not want to give out any power. Maybe delegate responsibilities, delegate duties, but not responsibilities. And this is what we have seen in Nigeria of recent. We seem to have no leadership in the president, but you have other people. His spokespeople are the one calling the shots.
Yeah, but what about the understanding that it is possible that President Buhari has dementia, and that is why he could not appear before the National Assembly to discuss the security issues? That is why he could not appear, go to the Bush and Kankara local government to go and sympathize at least. Is it because he has dementia? Is that a thing to be discussed or not to be discussed?
Well, that dementia issue, again, I'm not a medical doctor, and officially we have not had the dementia story yet. So until we are told officially, or until the Federal Executive Council so constitute a medical board to examine him and declare him.
You know, those are they're lily jellies. They can't do that.
Well, but the Constitution empowers them to do that, or the National Assembly takes over the national executive take over the oversight and do the job for them. But again,
No,
we
no, no,
don't
no.
have a
Now,
national
let me ask you. Let me ask you. You think if President Buhari is not having dementia, he will go and inspect his cows rather than going to the parents of 333 boys? Which one will he have done if it's not a matter of dementia? Just help me out.
the inspection of the cattle in his farm instead of going to Kankara was a
Yeah.
bad PR job. His handlers shouldn't have photoshopped the president visiting his farm instead of going to Kankara. It's not done.
Yeah.
It's not done. Yeah, he would have told them he didn't know better. So the
Okay.
issue of dementia again, let's leave that to the medicals.
There will be no medicals because nobody has got the lever to challenge Buhari to come forward. We want to check you. You are not performing your duties. I mean, he's not performing his duties. That's the issue. And who will have this effrontery out of all the Fasholas and Amechi and Payemi and all of them there on Ochie? Who will have that lever to say, let's cross-check this man? The only person who could have had that lever would be Dora Aquili of blessed memory, who shouted, "There is a cabal going on here, and we can no longer allow it." That's the only person I've seen in Nigeria. But with these lily-livered ministers who continues giving excuses rather than performances, and whose trains are breaking down, even when they have not just started running, and you just see them there. I mean, Ngige has not been able to fix ASU all these days. So who is going to ask this thing? And 200 million Nigerians are suffering in the meantime. And that's the challenge. And so, well, we just have to go on a short break again. And then when we return, we'll be showing you the clip of one of our colleagues who had gone to interview whether we should take this vaccine or not. Now, what we do in You Decide is to give you all the necessary information. We bring the facts before you. We even analyze some facts, but we are not saying we know everything. We are just saying you be informed and take a quality decision. We want you to have this quality decision. So we'll be bringing you this short clip, and thereafter, if Ruben Abati is not yet there, then we go on to the next issue. That we have so many issues to discuss today. But let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching Ben Television. Welcome back. We have asked our own man, Anthony, to go out and ask and do a good interview with those who know. We just want you to watch this clip, and you will be in a position to decide.
Hi there and welcome. So right now we have the pleasure to be joined by Pome Knight, a pharmacist, who's going to be talking to us about the flu vaccination. Hi Pome, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for asking. So just have a few questions just to talk to you about the flu vaccination. The first question being, what is the main aim of the flu vaccination program?
Okay. The main aim is to offer protection against the effects of flu to as many as eligible people as possible, particularly those most at risk.
Thank you. So what is the flu? Isn't it just a heavy cold? What are the first signs of the flu, and are they any different from COVID-19?
Okay. Well, flu, short term for influenza, is not just a cold, but what it is a common virus illness that can actually lead to complications, actually spread through sneezes and coughings. For healthy people, recovery is normally within usually 2 to 7 days, but for some, they may have to stay in bed for a couple of days. First sign of the flu is a sudden temperature or sudden fever, a temperature of 38 degrees or more, which is also equivalent to 100.4 degree Fahrenheit. Headaches, sneezing, dry chesty cough, chills, nausea and vomiting, abdominal pain, limb and joint pains, yes. And it's quite different from the signs or symptoms of COVID-19, because with that, you get a new continuous cough. You also have a high temperature, as well a loss or change to your sense of smell and taste.
Aha, very interesting. And who is eligible for the free flu vaccination?
Okay, so we have people aged 65 years and over, or pregnant women, close contacts of immunocompromised individuals. You also have carers, people staying in long stay residential homes, care residential homes, or other long stay care facilities. And this year, we've actually extended it to the 50 to 64-year-olds, children in year 7, secondary school, and also household contacts of those who are on the NHS shielded patient list.
Brilliant. And for those who are taking the vaccination or worried about that, are there any side effects from taking the vaccination?
Well, extreme side effects are rare. However, for the injected vaccines, what you would get is a sore arm at the site of injection. You may get a low-grade fever and aching muscles for a day or two. If it is the nasal vaccine, which is most commonly given to kids, you will just get loss of some appetite, tiredness, runny or blocked nose. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And with the current situation, why are we worrying about the flu if there is COVID-19 as a priority?
Okay, well, some people think that, having a bad cold is the flu, but this is not the case. With the flu, it's much more serious, and it can actually lead to complications, which could actually require hospitalization. Now, the last thing we want is to add more pressure on the NHS and social care, because the flu or the COVID-19 is still likely to be circulating during the flu season. And we do not want to add more pressure onto the NHS and social care when they will be dealing with cases of COVID-19. So all eligible people really should have the flu vaccine so as to protect themselves this winter.
For all of our viewers wanting to get more information about the flu vaccination, how can they get more information?
Okay, if you are eligible, all you need to do is speak to your GP surgery or your pharmacy. For pregnant women, you can get in contact with your midwife. They'll be able to give you some more information. And also, we've got the website, www.nhs.uk/flu vaccine.
Brilliant. Pomena, thank you so much for your time and for all that information. It's been very helpful and useful.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Well, that's it. For those of you who want to get the vaccine, just go there and ask questions. In fact, go to your GP. Somebody asked me, are you going to take the COVID-19 vaccine? I said, I'm going to go to my GP first. I'm going to ask him questions, and then I will from there go to the pharmacy and ask questions. Then I will from there go to God and ask questions. And within the 3 of those, I should be able to make up my mind. I will be able to decide. I know Nat has decided to take it, haven't you, Nat?
I, I'm not going to take it under any circumstances
Well,
because,
you won't be able to. You won't be able to enter the aeroplane. I'm sorry.
well, we will take up the case when we get there.
Now, if you're going to take the vaccine or not, please email us, Nigerians decide at yahoo.com, and we'll be in a position to read. Just write us, email, pick up your email, write to Nigerians decide at yahoo.com, and we want to know why you want to take the COVID-19 vaccine or why you will not be, or if you're undecided. Let me just tell you this one. The British government has sent to all the workers in the front line to ask them only one question, but three options. Are you going to take the COVID-19 vaccine? And the options you have will be yes, no, undecided. I'm told that there have been more of undecided than yes and no. Well, we'll see how far it will go. If the frontliners are skeptical about this, how about those of us who are not on the front line? But let's wait. Honestly, my position is watch and pray. I will wait and see what's going to happen. And people tend to be taking it, and they're not doing badly. Definitely, I'm not into conspiracy theory. Definitely, I'm not. Whatever everybody had said outside there concerning these vaccine, I'm not into it. But I'm not you. You are not me. Everyone should take a quality decision for himself because you may have underlying issues within your body. You need to know. You might be on medication. You need to know. You might be pregnant, and we've been told pregnant ladies should not take it. You may be wanting to have pregnancy. So all of this they culminate into taking decisions. But one thing I'm very clear is that very soon all the airlines will bar people who have not taken the vaccine. I mean, you have to show your certificate of having taken the vaccine before they allow you step into their plane, and they're doing it at the moment. They say go for a test. If you are positive, you are not entering that plane. If you are negative within 3 days, then you have to come for another test in 7 days. You still have to isolate whether you are symptomatic or positive or negative. You still have to isolate. So these are the serious issues I'm sure we will have to confront with in the new year. Um, let's go into a social news that has gone viral in the last 2 weeks. We opened our phones and we saw a doctor, Dr. Ifeanyiwa Angbo, saying that her husband, own dear husband of 6 years, has battered her, and she showed all the bruises, and said they have never known peace in that marriage. And many people sympathize with her, and in fact, a governor got involved. But first of all, let's hear from this lady. May I say from the outset that we are not interested in the family affairs of this lady. We're simply interested to highlight what goes on within our society, which we need to expunge. So let's have that studio where Mrs. Ifeanyi Angbo was battered.
The cesarean section just about 4 weeks ago. Just because I told him to spend wisely and not spend on women so recklessly, considering that we have 4 children and these children have to be trained. That's why I got this beating. Tried to strangle me and all that. Sat on my incision and everything. The children were crying. And I was pregnant with this child. When the pregnancy was 3 months. It was the same thing. He would sit on my stomach, hit me, try to strangle me and all that. Calling him out, he works with Channels TV. His name is Pius Iroja Angbo from Benue State.
Mommy, sorry.
Thank you. Just for you to know, I thought I got married to a fellow human being. Though I saw a paper where he wrote prayer requests. Even before I got married, I stumbled into that paper here. Wrote, thank God for saving him from hatred and abuse for women. Obviously, it's still on. You can see my face. It is well with my soul.
Well, it's that situation there. Um, it's really sad. Very, very sad. Um, I don't know how a fellow human being can treat another like that. Um, but we have done some homework and we've been told that within some areas of Benue, they are used to beating their wives. I'm not saying it's only in that area. I'm just saying that that's what our research has shown. And some people have documented these. But let me ask Nat, who knows a few things about men and husbands in some areas in Nigeria. Nat, can you bring us up to date?
Thank you very much. Again, I also want to add that it's sad and it's unfortunate that such a thing should happen to somebody's wife, Mrs. Angbo. The context and the content of that video, the context is Benue State, Makurdi. Makurdi is the capital of Benue State. And Makurdi is in the north central geopolitical zone of Nigeria. The Ifeanyiwa is a medical doctor. He works in Benue State University Teaching Hospital, while Pius Onoja Agbo is a journalist with the Channels Television of Nigeria, headquartered in Lagos. When the story broke out on social media and other print and electronic media, the governor of Benue State, Mr. Samuel Otom, got attention of this story, especially happening in his state and happening in the state capital where he resides. He decided to intervene and took along with him, or it was more of the Executive Council meeting of Benue State, and Mr. and Mrs. Angbo were invited. I think the governor intervened, and Pius Angbo apologized to the wife, and the wife agreed to come back to the
matrimonial home.
Hello?
I said to the matrimonial home.
Yeah, to the matrimonial home. And I think there have been subsequent releases after that saying that Ifeanyiwa Angbo saying that the public should leave them alone. It's their own business, their private affairs. People should not interfere in their matrimonial home. But the issue is more than a matrimonial law. There is a law in Nigeria, and Benue State has adopted that law against the beating of women or wives. And but we saw the governor taking a lighter route out, intervening and not going by any judicial process. Benue State has two major ethnic groups, the Idoma and the the thief people. And they also have their own cultural values, especially the place of a woman in the society. And studies have shown that the value placed in the woman is like household furniture. Although Mrs. Ifeanyiwa Angbo is from the southeast geopolitical zone. I've forgotten the exact state. And they have their own different cultural setting. So we are looking forward to seeing, because it looks like Pius needs medical attention. He needs anger management sessions. He needs a psychologist. He needs maybe a counselor, marriage counselor. He needs help. And then we are hoping he will keep his promise that he will not beat the wife again. And I hope the governor will ensure.
Let me ask from, thank you, Nat. Let me ask from Iboro. Iboro, you live in Nigeria. How rampant is this kind of thing?
Well, wife beating in Nigeria is a general thing across the country. In my state, other states, in the north and southeast. In fact, if you look at the rest of Africa, African men, we are seeing the male dominant role is there in the family. And so when you have instances where the women are now working as it is at the moment and getting empowered, some men tend to feel challenged. And this could lead to physical, issues where one wants to assert their force, which is quite primitive. It's a sad situation, but it's not something that is just prominent in Benue State. It's everywhere, especially now. If you look at what's happening in the UK, the wife battery has increased rapidly because of the COVID-19 and people getting stuck at home. Even though with this lady, it's been happening, like she said, from the beginning of time, probably now it's just got exacerbated or amplified. Like Mr. Nyako said, the man needs to be checked in a hospital, some psychologist. But you know how it is in Nigeria. Do we have such people? It's a sad situation, especially now we want to take advantage of our women to empower them, because a strong woman realistically is a strong home and a strong community. So it's a sad thing. My hope is that the marriage would continue in peace. I hope it's real, sincere reconciliation, not just forced by the governor of Benue State. I wouldn't say whether his intrusion is right or wrong. It's the future posterity that will tell.
Yeah, you think the government should not have pursued a judicial action? You think it should just go like that?
If there are laws against it, that should be pursued. If there are institutions that look into such matters, either religious institutions or traditional institutions that should look into it, that should be done as well. Battery is a crime, I feel, on its own, and there are laws against it. So the law should take its course as a deterrent as well for others to not do so, and also for the man to understand that it's not business as usual. I'm not sure this would be the first time he has apologized to his wife, although this might be the first time of him doing it publicly. I believe that people can be very embarrassed. Like, I'm sure this guy is embarrassed. He's now a national figure. He wouldn't want to see himself on TV again as the one that failed on his promise. So I
think Channel Television has he been sacked?
I wouldn't know.
I think he's been suspended.
I hope he's not, because that would put a lot of pressure on his family financially. But I hope the station will do other things, maybe like suspension or whatever. But I don't know what's happening with that story. I read it in the news like everyone else. And I've not heard anything since then.
Okay, maybe we need to do a bit of analysis on this. We understand that there is a penal code in the north, and that which has been an old law, and that it is a beating, that is beating a wife for the purpose of correction is legal, and the whole of the northern states, when the code was made, agreed to that. However, Benue State on its own has decided to opt out with a recent 2018 law, and that is the situation. So, at a point, culturally, for the Northerners, beating a wife, and up till now, except for Benue State, beating one's wife for correction purpose is acceptable. I think the whole national law should be looked into in that area to start with, so that if there is an act of the National Assembly that will cover the whole country instead of state by state, that would be a good way. And the irony of it, we were told, was that the Nigerian Governors' Wives Association were meeting almost the same time Pius was punching his darling wife. And the Nigerian Governors' Wives Association were meeting over the GBV, gender-based violence, where they were discussing how to go about it, that this should be stopped. And yet it was at that time that Pius decided to beat up his own wife. And like my colleagues rightly said, apologizing once may not do the trick, because it wasn't the first time, and to batter a fellow human being that way has been a very, very strong one. I believe that I'm not even asking for a blood. I'm just asking that what is the kind of thing that we should do as a society to start educating ourselves, to start stopping such things from happening? What should we do in the community? How do we start educating? Because my belief is that if you have seen your father beat your mother, most likely you are going to beat your wife, because you would think it is normal. I must say openly that my father never beat my mother, so I will. It does. It's not part of me. It's not seen in me. But my belief is that if you have seen your father beat your mother, then you would think somehow it is okay. I'm not saying that is normal. No, no research has gone into that. But then, where do we start from if this is prevalent in our society? And one of the things that she said was that I want to make my marriage work. They said that line alone is enough for the man to continue beating the wife, because that principle will always be in her mind. Let me make this marriage work. And some aunties and grandmothers will say, look, make your marriage work. But listen to what this lady said after Governor Autumn of Benue State has intervened, which many people were not happy about because he did not go it the right way of understanding. But let's listen to the video where the woman, Ifeanyi, the doctor Ifeanyi, was saying, leave us alone, we will work it out.
People in Imo State, they were not happy about what happened at all. I please also want to plead with you to forgive my husband, and to my Auntie China. I also want to thank you. You've been like a mother to me here and a sister. Thank you for everything you've done, and to the rest of the world, I want you to have a place in your hearts to forgive my husband. In this time, I need your prayers for my family and my children. We have 4 children who are still very tender, and all we need now is your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nat, it is good to forgive. They say it's human to err, and it's divine to forgive. Did you think the lady really meant what she was saying?
Let me start first of all with this loss you talked about, northern Nigeria.
Yeah.
In northern Nigeria, we have these Sharia laws, which in most cases go with states that are predominantly Muslims.
Yeah.
And you know, in Nigeria, we have in the north the customary laws, and the south the penal code. Penal code. The Nigerian Bar Association and I think the National Assembly is trying to harmonize these laws. So you find out that in Sharia law, a wife beating to some extent may be allowed, or slapping your wife is allowed. Like a typical example is normally when the man is traveling, the wife will normally get his luggage ready, and I have a very luggage for the man ready, the clothes and everything the man will need. And a friend of mine who is a Muslim was telling me that if the man gets to his destination and discovered that the wife didn't put in a handkerchief in his luggage, when he comes back, he's entitled to slapping her for not putting. So you see that is the thing. Again, I think I was looking at the body language or the face on Pius Onoja Angbo. And it seems to be saying, it serves you right. You think you can leave my house. You can, there is no way you can leave. Come back. You are coming back. So that's the language I could pick from Pius.
Yeah.
The wife may have been sincere to a certain degree, but again, you know, there's a societal stigma on divorce. You leave your husband because he slapped you. There have been instances where husbands even pour acid on their wives or hot water.
What if they die? Nobody's thinking if they die. Why should you put two people together when they're going to die? Someone is going to die.
But women have died. I mean, wives have died because the husband battered them or did something evil to them. And there are so many.
Do you know it happens in the United Kingdom as well? In the United Kingdom, this is government statistics, not mine. Every week, one partner kills. Every week, there are two occasions where one partner will kill the other. Every week, two cases of murder. Husband killing the wife and plus some children, or wife killing the husband. Every week, at least two cases of death through partners killing one another. That's the United Kingdom. Official statistics, not private statistics. Yes, go on now. Sorry to interject.
So that is the situation on ground in Nigeria. And as my colleague said, Eboro, so many societal challenges have worsened the situation in the homes. Domestic violence has increased. The rate of divorce has increased because of these societal challenges, especially this year 2020, COVID coming, our economy collapsing, and so many other factors. It is challenging and is telling on the fabric of the society.
Okay, we'll just leave it as that. We'll go on a short break. When we return, there's nepotism in Nigeria like we have never seen before. Insecurity in Nigeria as we've never seen before. Sicknesses and diseases as we've never seen before. Divorces as we've never seen before. We just want to take some of these so that you may have information and analysis, and then you decide. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Ben TV, your ethnic and Africa-led television, welcomes your input, contribution, and support to facilitate our continuous program production, campaign for projects, and other media-related services. We have been here for closer to 2 decades.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching Ben Television. We want to look into the challenges of Nigeria and what we can do, not just to criticize the government, but to see what we can all do. That's the reason why we are bringing such a program into your living room. Let's just take a look at this clip that talks about nepotism. Someone felt that this must stop when one section of a country, of the country, must or dominates when it comes to giving them jobs. Let's look into this before we discuss it. And we want to hear your own views on all the things we've been saying. Nigerians decide at yahoo.com. Pick up your phone and write us on that phone. Let's take that clip.
Nigeria belongs to all of us. We cannot keep quiet. We can't keep quiet. We have to talk. Total cadet trainees, 628. Total trainees from the north of Nigeria, 535. Total trainees from the south of Nigeria, just 93. Then out of all the trainees, 71 persons come from Bichi local government in Kano State. The Director General's home LGA. What do we call that? That is nepotism. This is tribalism at its best. That DSS recruitment has to be cancelled. It has to be cancelled. There are millions of unemployed people in Nigeria, millions of unemployed graduates, millions of unemployed master's degree holders, millions of unemployed PhD holders, and you are conducting this kind of recruitment, and you are telling us that all of us are Nigerians? No. No. That means that some people are Nigerians, those of us who are from the south, we are just here to watch. We should just watch them. That DSS recruitment must be cancelled. Please cancel it. If you want to do recruitment, it should be based on merits. It should be based on federal character. Every state must be represented. There should be equality. Please. Let's cancel that DSS recruitment. It must be cancelled, please. It has to be cancelled. The millions of unemployed people in this country, I represent the unemployed Nigerians. Yes, I represent unemployed Nigerians. Please, cancel that DSS recruitment. Or we'll carry placards. We'll go to the streets. We'll carry placards. I'm talking to the federal government now and the authorities in charge. Please, cancel that DSS recruitment. It's very unfair. It's very unfair. It's against the tenets of justice, fairness, and equity. Everybody should be carried along. Every family in Nigeria has not less than 10 people who are unemployed. Please, cancel that DSS recruitment now.
Okay, thank you very much. Nat, why is the Bichi local government of Kano, why is it having all the brilliant people in Nigeria, that one local government out of 774 local governments should provide 71% of the recruitment of DSS officials?
Well, let us start with the DG of DSS happens to come from Bichi. Bichi is a local government and town in Kano State, northwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria. And from the figures that the gentleman has read out to us, this is a constitutional matter because the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, as amended, uh, has provision of a section called, the Federal Character Commission is mentioned in the Constitution, and it had to be placed. It had to be documented in the Constitution because there were in the past and even now cases of marginalization, cases of underrepresentation of the 36 states plus Abuja in the recruitment process, admission process, and even promotion process now is based on federal character, is based on what we call the quota system. So but it's worse off in the APC federal government we have now as from 2015. We see Buhari right from his service chiefs. All the service chiefs are from the northern part of Nigeria, apart from the chief of naval staff, who is from the south. And you also discover that other security outfit is headed by individuals from the north. And to worsen it, they are from one religion. They are mainly are Muslims. But when you even narrow it down, most of these top officials, political appointees, are from the northwest and from Katsina or Daura, Katsina state. So we
And that's
have,
President Buhari state.
yeah, President Buhari is from Katsina state, while the vice president is from the southwest geopolitical zone, Ogun State.
Okay, let me ask Iboro. Iboro, how do you feel in Nigeria? How do Nigerians handle this kind of thing? Because we need
Well,
to know. How do you, listening to that young man saying we no go agree? How do you feel?
it's what we've been born to see. All the oil wells in the south belongs to the northerners. All the in my state, for example, all the when they were doing the support for poor people during COVID-19, all the palliatives, what financial transfers. When you follow the money, the local governments in our states would tell you compared to local governments in the north what they're receiving, all the way down to education, whether it's JAM results, who has access to, and how the qualification processes are being separated depending on zones of, and I guess this is why people and why Nigerians are calling for restructuring and other issues that are at the forefront, the front burner. It's a sad thing, but now it's just one of the many sad issues in front of us. Yes, the Buhari government is really coming to promote ethnicity and tribalism, unfortunately. But I'm certain that when we have new leaders, this will be again turned around in other areas. Because even when you go to states, it's the same thing. When you come to my state, for example, how's the recruitment area?
And that is
It's a
Cross River State, just for our viewers to know.
It's worse in
Akwa
states in
Ibom.
private states. What
Oh,
happens
Akwa
is
Ibom. Okay.
come in and they develop and make roads in their senatorial districts, especially to their villages. When they have factories or whatever they want to put together, they name it after themselves and put it close to home. So it's not just a presidential issue. It's a Nigerian problem. When you look at companies and how people are recruited, private companies, how does that work? Yoruba companies predominantly employ Yoruba people. Igbo companies predominantly employ Igbo people. Yes, of course, they'll say, well, it depends on where the companies are situated. But when you go to Igbo companies in Lagos, or you come to Yoruba companies in the south, or the oil companies that belong to the northerners here, what do you see? So it's the leaders we have to a very large degree represent the way we as a people operate. So there needs
Okay,
to be.
then how possible could Nigerians protest now after the NSAS massacre and aftermath and with all sorts of lies flying all over the place about the massacre? How can Nigerians protest again, especially when hoodlums may hijack it and turn it into their own agenda, go and destroy stores and destroy places that the original protesters did not have in mind? How will it be possible for Nigerians to protest after the NSAS?
A lot of people are still protesting till today. Like I told you in my state just yesterday, people were out of jail. But what's now happening is that people are breaking down into little groups and we're understanding what protest is all about. It's not about blocking roads and making noise. You can peacefully pick a road. Like this young man peacefully picked an area that no one was. It was opposite the Christmas village. No one takes that. It's not even the road. It's backed by a forest, and they stood there, held their placards. So protests can take many forms, and Nigerians that are angry about what's happening, of course, we will continue to protest, and we will continue to spotlight what's happening in our country to the rest of the world. So I feel that strategies need to change. Of course, at some point, we'll need to convert this protest into economic and political gains, which I loved about the email you read about the diaspora finding ways to support continental Africans, because it's not just a Nigerian problem, even though Nigeria is at the forefront of it, because we have amplified how we
I'm going to ask you one serious question.
So,
please think about it before you answer. Think, and if you don't want to answer, just say pass, and I'll understand. Do you
okay.
think the Buhari administration is the answer to our problems? Every government should solve the problem of its own nation. Do you think Buhari administration is going to solve our own problem in Nigeria?
Of course, no loving Nigerian will run away from this question. Of course, the government of Buhari has failed. In very simple words, it has failed woefully in addressing the very basic needs of Nigerians. And what we need to do beyond changing Buhari, just like we did with Goodluck Jonathan, we changed to Goodluck Jonathan. Look at what we've got. And so the issue here is not about changing Buhari, but changing him with who. So in preparation to change Buhari, we have to be careful not to repeat these mistakes we keep making all the time because we are angry and dissatisfied. But the government clearly has failed in many ways.
Okay, thank you, Iboro. You've been wonderful, and I hope to get you back to the program very soon. Nat, just quickly, in 30 seconds, I put the same question to you. Do you think Buhari administration can turn things around?
You see, the thing is that what we should be asking Nigerians, the remaining 200 and something million people, is this how we are going to allow things to continue until 2023? I think the more challenge with Nigerians than Buhari as an individual, especially the Federal Executive Council and the National Assembly have the constitutional responsibility to ensure that things work in Nigeria for the benefit of the majority of Nigerians.
Okay. More questions still to be asked, but let me ask the studio. Last week we were live with the real estate project in Nigeria. The governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was there. There were his commissioners there and some agencies of the state. Do we still have some video clips of that occasion so that everybody who may want to buy a property or the other in Nigeria can do so? Let's have that clip if we have. Otherwise, inform me so that I may continue with the program.
How do you define success? For us, it's working tirelessly to rest public reservations towards investments in real estate. It is understanding that tastes and pocket sizes differ and finding creative ways to satisfy persons' unique needs. It is analyzing and rising above the economic bars goals to create blossoming opportunities. And at the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority, LASRERA, we recognize that our greatest success is making real estate real easy for all. Which is why we're inviting you to the largest real estate market in sub-Saharan Africa to discuss the future of real estate in Lagos in a 2-day inaugural event, Lagos Real Estate Marketplace Conference and Exhibition, with the theme Unearthing Real Opportunities in Real Estate, Making Lagos That 21st Century Economy, which holds on the 9th and 10th of December 2020 at the Expo Hall Eco Hotel and Suites. LASRERA, Real Estate Real Easy.
Well, that was the advert, and if there are other clips, I'll let you know. Nat, I still want to get answer to some questions concerning the Buhari government. I really want to know what is going on because we want to see if the separation of Aisha Buhari and President Buhari has something to do with the sickness, because we understand that if a man should be ill for whatever reason, the wife should take care of the husband. Why is it that the social media is filled with the fact that Aisha Buhari has relocated to Abuja? What are you hearing?
Dubai, not Abuja.
Oh, sorry, to Dubai. Beg your pardon.
Well, I think we're just talking in the realm of speculation on the realm of social media. We have not had any official pronouncement from the presidency that the first lady has relocated to Dubai. We have not. So we unto such a time, because there was I think sometime last year or so, there was this same news item of Aisha Buhari having relocated to Dubai. But when the issue of Buhari getting married to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Aisha came back the next day. So, so we haven't had officially yet the relocation of Aisha Buhari to Dubai. It's still in the realm of the social media.
Oh, okay. So it's still in the realm of the social media.
Yes.
But there is no smoke without fire, they say. I mean, don't let's kid ourselves now. But then I still agree with you. It's not yet official. But it's all over the place that Aisha Buhari is not in next to her husband in his own house, and it's something that we should press to see if this is true, and what should we read into it? Because Nigerians, we want to know if it is in the realm of the social media and it is a lie. Let the federal government or the presidency come out and say this thing is in the social media and we're controverting it, and let them show us pictures of Aisha Buhari and her husband. That is what is done in some other climes where something is going viral and is not correct. People, they will be corrected so that you don't leave speculation to rife among the people. What is wrong for them to controvert it and say, look, this is what is this is the right situation, and this is not, this is a false. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we want, isn't it?
Yeah, but we have a government that doesn't communicate with her citizens. And you remember the publicity Buhari marrying Sadia Omar, the publicity it got. And the president didn't say anything until the eve of the marriage. And the Friday came and nothing happened. So that is the type of that's the type of government we've had for the past 5 to 6 years. The government doesn't talk. The president doesn't talk.
Oh, this is interesting. So, is the lack of communication that we're dealing with, and
And when the government talks, is intimidation and harassing her citizens.
okay, but the citizens are talking. I want you to watch this video that talks about insecurity. Look, people are talking, and this man came out to say, "Look, this cannot continue. Please, if you want to keep your Nigerians, the email to come to Nigerians decide at yahoo.com. Even if I can't read them today, I will read them next Wednesday. So keep them coming throughout the weekend, throughout the week, and I will read them. But I want you to listen to this video about the level of insecurity in Nigeria. Watch.
We have gathered here, we have invited people from the 19 northern states, cut across religious leaders, traditional leaders, civil society activists, retired security officers. This morning, we have 2 generals here with us. We have retired AIGs, 2 of them here with us. And as you can see, our religious leaders are also here with us. The gathering is specifically to address the insecurity in the north. We have decided to give the whole day to sit down and discuss and review the security situation in the north in order to complement the government effort of what they are doing. But unfortunately, as you can witness, before we even have started the event, some hoodlums came in with their machetes and all other weapons that we don't even see, attacking people. Some people had to go through the windows to escape. So we are very, very confused about what actually transpired. But Alhamdulillah, we have seen some known faces. We are going to take this up. And I want to assure the public, this noble objective we have of reviewing the security situation of northern Nigeria, where our people are being killed on daily basis. As you know, as we are talking just 2 days ago, about 400 students were kidnapped in Katsina State. We cannot fold our arms and let things continue going like this. Whoever is behind this attack is an enemy of the north, is an enemy of Nigeria. And I want to assure the public that this will not deter us. Even as for today, we are going to have another place that we are going to conduct our meeting, we are going to invite our guests, and definitely we are going to come up with what we have intended to do. What we have intended to do is, how do we complement the government and bring up synergy and a security outfit that is multi-sectoral, where all people will come in and have what we intend to call Arewa Security Marshal.
It is unfortunate that we could be eyewitness to what happened in Arewa House today, this morning, whereby we team up as brothers in brotherhood to come and sit down, discuss, analyze the situation in northern Nigeria, see where we are lacking, whether physically or spiritually, whether security-wise, socially or economically or politically, in order to save the situation that we are battling in northern Nigeria, most especially issue of insecurity, where there's incessant killings of innocent souls, deserting villages, sending people packing from their villages. Farmers are suffering one way or the other, herdsmen and whatsoever. Things are getting out of control, and we discover that we have no other choice and other thing than to come and contribute our quota to see that not only northern Nigeria should be united peacefully, but Nigeria at large. But when these loopholes came today, I couldn't believe that in the heart of Kaduna, and most especially in Arewa House, where we are proud that this is our house, our sons come with sword, machete, and other dangerous weapon to destroy human life for whatsoever reason, we don't know, but our concern northern Nigeria remains. And we're not changing our button. We will continue the race until we see northern Nigeria is secured in a way that we know it. We live peacefully, understanding ourselves, practice our religion peacefully, whether you are a Muslim or a Christian, whether you are a pagan or whatever religion you belong to. We must honor you. We must honor human dignity. We must do everything to see the sanctity of life in northern Nigeria. Northern Nigeria is bleeding beyond what we can imagine. The most peaceful area in the whole Nigeria was northern Nigeria. And precisely, Northwest has been the most peaceful area in northern Nigeria, but it's bleeding beyond healing. Therefore, we want healing in northern Nigeria, and we are calling on religious leaders. They should wake up away from the Islamic perspective or from the Christian perspective. We should wake up from our slumber and do the right thing.
Credit to Channels Television. I'm afraid that's where we leave it today. Nat, do you have 10 seconds of what to wrap up? Just 10 seconds?
Well, just 10 seconds response to this press conference. The Northern Elders Forum were also present in this meeting. And it has become part of the culture now in Nigeria that whenever there's a demonstration over an issue, there's a counter demonstration. And we have noticed that anything against the federal government will arrange their own demonstrators. There are people readily available in Abuja to rent to go and disrupt.
Okay. I think you've used more than 10 seconds now. But
okay.
Iboro in Nigeria, 10 seconds. Maybe you'll be able to use time to time yourself. 10 seconds.
Well, I want to.
What's your last thing?
Thank Nigerians for always listening and coming out this time around and voicing out for change in this country. And it's my hope that we'll keep up with the pressure until we get the change we desire. Most countries.
Thank you very much, Iboro. I know you keep to time. Well, that's how far we can go today. The program is You Decide, Custody Bed Television. And I want to thank those of us working in the studio, all our crew members, and especially our executive director, Alistair Shode. My name is Sheku Johnson. Until next Wednesday, God bless Nigeria.